And
I gotta get over to.
And we are on.
Gotta get over
Hi,
to
everybody. If anybody is sitting out there in chat land, we are 4 minutes to starting. And I just realized, of course, that I don't have a pair of glasses here in case I want to read something that isn't in really big print. Oh, yes, I do. Okay, there we go. Okay. So everybody kind of gets set up. Got 4 minutes to go. Okay. Hello, Buffy. I see you there. I am here too. I am type much here too. Okay, I won't do that again. No, I don't know what this is. There we go. Okay. When I do that, I lose my window. Okay. What? You look frustrated.
who, me?
Yeah.
Oh, I put the sound on the women's hangout. Let's see how I got this now.
Well, you just need to turn one of them off. It doesn't matter which one.
I got one. Now, God damn it. Excuse my French. Okay.
A tribe called Cookies 6.com. And did you bring any cookies? Damn it. I was at the store today and was going to buy cookies because I really wanted a cookie for the last week and a half. And that's my problem is I want a cookie.
And you got to buy a bag of them in order to...
Yeah, exactly. And then, you know, I usually have a cookie, okay, maybe two, and then I'm over it. Then I don't want to do it anymore. I'm over it. Okay, we are 2 minutes out. I hope everybody brought their fear and anxiety with them.
Now I got to get comfortable here.
Okay.
So now we're discussing
Fear.
Fear in getting started, fear in camping in scary places.
Not so much. That's been beat to death lately. I mean, on other people's channels.
I hear you.
No, I'm talking about, I have notes.
Oh,
fear
that's
of,
always helpful.
Yes, it is. Fear of downsizing. You know, what should I put in storage? You know, stuff like that. But I'll share them all because now we're getting like more people. 10 viewers. I don't want to like let the cat out of the bag. And then what will we talk about? Fear and loathing. Yeah, that's so true. I could talk about fear and loathing. Hi, Nancy. Hi, Dawn. I would type, but then I lose my setup. So, okay, we're on. It is 7 o'clock and time for the RV Women Hangout for today, which is July 13th of 2017.
What's the matter with your picture?
Is my picture not good?
It's got a big bright spot. Does anybody else see that?
Anybody else seeing that? I don't see it. I don't have
it. Like almost like a flash. It's, I don't know. Maybe it's me.
I think it's you. Okay, somebody tell me whether or not my image is, you know, obscured for whatever reason. Okay, so back to today's hangout. No, okay. No, it's you. It's you, Nana's Joy.
Okay, now I switch back over and I see you.
Okay.
Okay.
What we're going to talk about today is fear. And when people communicate with me, that's really the gist of what they're asking. You know, everything is based in fear. And I mean, the questions are based in fear. Now, I've written down a few things so that my, mind doesn't like leave me. Now, for people who are starting to RV, or they see it in their future, a lot of fear and anxiety is wrapped up in downsizing. What to keep, what to toss, what to do with it, what not to do with it. Do my kids want it? Okay, they don't, then what? And then the fear of, if I'm going to throw something away that I'm going to end up buying later, then why would I throw that away? So I'm just going to take everything in my 3-bedroom house and stuff it in my 30-foot RV. Okay, that's not going to work. A lot of people, when they're first starting out, they get rid of the things that are in their house, bricks and sticks. You don't need, umpteen million silverware sets. You don't need Christmas dishes, to bring joy to the season. There are just things that you don't need, and those things are easy to decide to get rid of, quite honestly. But then you're going to get to the point where it's going to be a half a room size of stuff that you just don't want to get rid of. Could be keepsakes that you can't, palm off on your kids, or maybe you have no kids. And so these are things that, you just want to hang on to. A lot of people will get storage units. They will get small storage units and put those things in there. If that's what you need to do because you can't get rid of stuff, just do that. Pay 6 months in advance or whatever it is that you can afford. Try not to do it month to month unless it's an auto pay, because you're going to forget. And time has an interesting change when you become an RVer. It's kind of like going on vacation, and like the first day is really, really slow, and then all of a sudden it's time to go back. Yeah, it's RVing kind of like that. The first couple of days, are kind of in the time. Time is such an interesting component to me, but it's kind of what you're used to, and then all of a sudden weeks become months, months become years. And if releasing anxiety by putting things in storage helps you, then go ahead and do it. Don't listen to anybody else's advice. Just go ahead and do it. Put stuff away. But just, pay for it, or get a, like an auto pay set up. Most banking institutions will do that. Okay. The next thing that causes people fear about RVing, especially those who wish to go full-time RVing, is, I don't have a home base. I'm never going to have a home base. Where's my home base? If I sell my house, then where's home? For a lot of people, this is a very, very difficult situation. And okay, and this will cause a lot of anxiety. Where do I get my mail? What happens if I don't get my mail? Where do I, what do I tell the IRS my address is? Fear, anxiety, things that at that moment when you're trying to forecast your life seem really, really important, become ever so less important later on down the road. There are actually avenues where RVers can have a home address. They can use that as a, the mail goes there and then they forward it on to you wherever it is that you are. Now, if you're boondocking, obviously you're going to have to go to a post office or something like that in order to retrieve these things. Yeah, home is really where you park. Home is that thing you're either dragging behind your truck or, you walk into, like my motorhome. This is home for me. The thought of moving into a bricks and sticks situation for me, yeah, that's fear and anxiety. I don't want to ever do that again. But this is very much home, and it's wherever it is, I'm home, and I've got everything that I need and everything that I want. And wanting, I hear feedback. Where's the feedback coming from? It's not me. Let me check.
What was that?
I've got feedback. Does anybody else hear that? Is it just me?
I don't hear it.
Okay. Maybe it's just me.
You might be able to hear the birds outside, but
No. It's feedback. It's not horrible. But you're going to make whatever traveling RV you have into your home. So for like me, for example, yeah, I hung pictures. I'm not on vacation. This is my home. I brought artwork that was important to me to keep in this RV. Some of it's very large. Some of it is wrapped up in tissue and in a closet because I don't want it broken, but I also didn't want to get rid of it, and I certainly wasn't giving it away. No, we can hear. Oh, you can hear feedback. Yeah, there is some kind of feedback going on. It's not really annoying, right? And it happens when I'm talking, or at least that's when I'm hearing it. Okay, I don't get that. Okay, say something, Nana's Joy.
I'm not hearing whatever you're hearing at all. All I hear is the birdies flying around outside.
Yeah. No, I can hear something. It doesn't matter. It's not that annoying. But again, you have to make the determination and create your home in your RV, however that is. If it's a certain kind of linen for your bed, then get that. Whatever it is that makes your house, your house, your bricks and sticks house, your home, you can transfer that into your RV. And it might be, you've been using the same dishes for the last 25 years and you're going to continue using them. Great. There are ways to deal with. I don't use paper plates, for example. I use dishes, real, honest to God dishes. But you have to also understand that when it breaks, yeah, you got to let that go too. Fear of not letting things really go. Does anybody have any questions so far about anything?
You have a new watch. You have a new watch, your first timer, Torch Hap.
Oh, hello! I'm so glad that you came. I'm very familiar. He's been a follower for a long time, so he and I, we talk all the time. Okay. The other fear that people have is the fear of losing touch with people from their neighborhood or just their friends, or if they've retired and they've built relationships over years with people that they've worked with, fear of losing touch with them. And honestly, I mean, I have a daughter, son-in-law, and they had a baby that will be a year old, August 30th. And I don't feel like I'm losing touch with them at all. We Skype once a week. And when I say we Skype, I mean I'm Skyping with their son, their baby. You know, that's all I want to see is their baby. My daughter and I talk on, you know, cell phones. My daughter and I talk every day, and sometimes more than once, depending on whether or not I answer my phone. And, you know, it doesn't really, it is no different. My life is actually no different than when I lived in a house. It's no different. People can just call me. You know, it's, if it's a neighbor or a friend or whatever, they just call and say, where are you? And most of them, honestly, follow me on YouTube, and they're calling up to basically harass me.
I've had people say to me, wouldn't you be afraid if you were alone and you were out there? What if you break down? And I said, I got a cell phone. You just call somebody.
Yeah. AAA or, you know, whatever your backup rescue team is, you know, AAA happens to be mine. Some people use Camping World.
Good Sam.
Good Sam.
Yeah.
You know, some people have, you know, it's something that you should talk over with your insurance people, you know, your automobile insurance people, and get roadside assistance.
This gal seemed to think that there was going to be a big trauma because if you break down, somebody would get you on the side of the road. I said, you're in a big RV, lock your door. Nobody's going to get in.
And what a perfect way to break down. You're in your house.
Right.
You think of a better way to break down? Oh, you're not going to be here for 45 minutes? Oh, no problem. Let me just whip up lobster bisque for myself while I wait for you. I mean, what's not great about that? You've got a bathroom, take a shower.
Right.
You know, you're just by the side of the road.
Right.
I can't think of a better way to break down. Now, I have never broken down in my RV. I've broken down in the Suzuki, but I've never broken down in the RV. Given the choice between broken down in the RV or broken down in the Suzuki, please, I'll take the RV. To me, that is much better. That's a much better scenario for me. Are you reading all this stuff on the side?
Yes, I am.
Okay, great. Just
you have one question.
Okay, a question.
Do you find, since you downsized, that you eat more simply now, or do you enjoy microwave burritos?
Okay, I can't eat microwave burritos. I wish I could eat microwave burritos. No, my gallbladder would, you know, jump up and slap me silly for eating a microwave burrito. Now, as far as do I eat more simply, I wasn't a complex eater to begin with. I'm 60, I think I'm 61. And yeah, I'm 61. And food really lost its appeal for me, I don't know, 15 years ago. Now it's just a matter of nutrition, you know, and not being hungry. I don't like being hungry. So it kind of, you eat what you want to eat. You eat what you would eat if you lived in a bricks and sticks house. You just, whatever it is. You don't go to the grocery store any more often just because you live in an RV, by the way. You still kind of do menu planning if you're into that. I do that. You know, I think, okay, well, what are the staples that I like? And I buy accordingly. And there are a lot of times that I'll just have sliced apple with peanut butter on it for any meal. Pick one, I don't care. I'm not wrapped up in the confines of food. If I feel like having a hamburger for breakfast, I'm having a hamburger for breakfast. And it is just, you know, every once in a while, I'll make something that is, I'm craving it for whatever reason. And it's my go-to is really shrimp scampi. Yeah. I always have shrimp. I always have, you know, like half and half. I can always make shrimp scampi. um, you know, it's, you buy the stuff that you would typically buy. The only time that I really change my eating habits at all is when I'm sitting behind the wheel of that RV and driving for multiple hours, you know, 4 or 5 hours at a time. I will change the way I eat. And I'm doing that to honestly save my intestines. I don't want, you know, because you're in a sitting position, that for several hours, it's very hard on your circulatory system and your intestines. It's just hard on it. And older, you know, it gets worse. So that's the only time that I really change. And usually what I'll do is up my liquids, and I basically eat just fruit. Sometimes with peanut butter on it.
Dawn's saying that she has anxiety that she's going to get plowed into in her home along with her pets. And, you know, she just has a fear of that. And then she says, maybe I'm thinking I'm due for one because she's never had a bad accident.
If you think that way, it will come your way. You don't want to think that way. It is something, you know, and I think that people do have the power to draw that stuff to them. If that's really what you're thinking, then go buy a car, some junker off Craigslist, and crash it into something and get it over with. Don't wait until you have your family in your, you know, RV and then have that anxiety. Now, there are ways to alleviate those fears, and that's through insurance. When you arrange for your insurance for your RV, cover everything. If I should break down and repairs are going to, you know, last a week, can I buy insurance that will house me in like a hotel for that week while I wait for my RV to be fixed? The answer to that is yes. Okay. My RV has been totaled. Does my insurance cover a flight back to wherever it is that I want to go? Or a flight to, yeah, to wherever I want to go? I mean, if I totaled my RV tomorrow, I would be on Craigslist shopping for a new RV. And then, I mean, of course, my insurance company would already know this. I would say, cut me a check. It's AAA. It would probably already be in the mail. And I would be shopping for a new RV. I mean, that's just all there is to it. And living in a hotel until I find one. And since I'm going to be doing it, you know, 24/7, I should have something in a week or less. And I think that if you plan for the future that way, you're going to be way better off. And it's not that expensive to do this, to cover yourself. It really isn't, and it's so worth it, and you'll have such peace of mind. You know, suppose I'm in an accident, which is really great, because if you're in like a class A and you have an accident, unless you're hitting a semi truck, everything's happening below you. Which is, you know, why a lot of semi truck drivers live when they're in an accident with a car. It's because it's happening below them. Now, I had a thought that went with that. Oh, I'm hurt. I'm in the hospital. I have dogs. You know, we have a YouTube friend. It's Rufus and Doofus, if you're not familiar with him. And that was his scenario. He gave up his bricks and sticks life, and less than a year on the road, he's in the hospital and with a life-threatening situation, and then in a rest home receiving physical therapy and blah blah blah. And it is all about, you know, being prepared. Now, I watched his most recent video. He put one out today, by the way, or it might have been yesterday. I wasn't really paying attention. But people have contributed money to him. I'm not sure how they did that, but contributed money to him because he admitted his expenses are a lot. I don't think he was prepared for that scenario. And that is one that, you know, yeah, he still has his RV, and his body is on the mend. And these are things that when you're old, these are things you have to be prepared for. You have to have health insurance that is accepted wherever it is you are. If you have a secondary health insurance carrier, then that has to be accepted wherever you are. What else? If your RV is totaled, hey, it's totaled. Go get your stuff. You know, get your stuff out of it and move on. The carcass, you know, you'll get, depending on how you're insured, this is why I keep saying about insurance, depending on how you're insured, really forecasts what your next step is. Okay.
Yeah. Deborah's just announcing that Rufus and Doofus, Chico, is out of the home. Somebody offered their home, and he is staying with them. He's got his motor home there, and they're bringing the dog to him.
Yeah. And yeah, I watched his video today, and it was, you know, he is such a sweet guy.
Yeah.
That I can see how it is easy to extend a helping hand to him. And I think that that's really great, but it doesn't alleviate us from the responsibility of taking care of that scenario. You know, I've been in an accident, I've got a broken leg, or, you know, head injuries, or whatever the case may be. You just simply have to prepare for it.
Right.
And the way you prepare for that is by either having just a boatload of money, cash, or you go talk to your insurance people and say, you know, this, that, this, that, this, that, this, that. You know, what do you got? How much is that?
There's all kinds of different policies you can get for different scenarios.
Yes, there are lots and lots of them. And the other thing that people should also consider while talking about insurance is life insurance. In the event that whatever befalls you kills you, what then?
Yeah.
These are the things that need to be taken care of so that you don't have fear and anxiety, so that you can just relax and have a good time. You know, I know that if I drop dead in the next 5 minutes, I know exactly what's going to happen. I mean, not that I'm going to care, but as soon as they find my body, they know what to do.
Right. Yeah.
But
Dawn's saying that she's got an older RV with, you know, they don't insure those very well, and that's true of many of us. We all have older RVs unless you're independently wealthy and want to have the best. So you just do the best, you cover it the best you can, and you cover everything else.
Yeah. My RV, there it is again. That's even worse. Okay, my RV.
Turn your sound down a little bit.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay, how do I do that?
Because I even heard it when you were talking.
Okay. Is that better?
I don't hear it now.
Okay. Okay, totally lost my train of thought there.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. Now what I was thinking is, oh yeah, my RV. I have a 1998. Okay, it might be 99, somewhere there. RV. It's old. I have, and I'm carrying full coverage on my comprehensive and liability. I carry it both. When I was discussing with my insurance guy, let's just pretend that I've totaled the RV. How much money are you going to give me? And he told me. And I said, okay, that would be enough. I said, so what about the contents inside? And so what he put together for me was a policy that covers the interior of the RV, everything that's in my RV. The interior contents, he said, well, how much would it cost to replace the interior contents of your RV? And I said, well, my artwork, okay, that's not recoverable. I said, we're probably looking at $30,000 or $40,000. He said, okay. He said, in the event that you total your RV, we'll pay you for the RV, of course. And then we'll write you a check for, I think it's $37,000 for the contents of your RV. I said, okay, how much does that cost? Surprisingly enough, like $12 a month. I'm like, sign me up. If you go and you tell them, don't let them tell you, you tell them what it is that you need, they're going to cover you. So basically, I can total this RV, walk away with, the RV is probably worth $8,000, maybe 10, if they're feeling really, really generous. So I'm going to walk away with something under $50,000. I can go out and buy another RV and go to the dollar store
and stock it with dollar store stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
I was going to say too, people that are worrying about, fitting everything to their RV. Starting out slow isn't a bad deal. Is get an RV that you're comfortable with, and then slowly stock it with the things you think you need, and then you back it out as you finally become on the road.
You do. You back it out. You realize that silver corkscrew that you've had since you got married 40 years ago basically does nothing. The other thing about,
unless you drink wine.
Well, yeah, that's true. A lot of wine. The other thing is make sure that when you're putting things in there, they have multi-purpose. Okay. And their multi-purpose doesn't have to actually be a physical thing. In my instance, I have a very large framed silk screen over my back window. Okay, it's very large. It covers like most of the back of the wall. That actually does two things. Okay, it makes me happy to have it. Number two is it blocks the sun from coming in that back window. I don't really need that back window except as an emergency exit. And I have made it so that, I can take that artwork down in 2 seconds and I'm out the window. So, and it can burn because why? because I have insurance and I'll replace it with something else. I think that you're going, for people who are starting out, you're going to come to the realization, and it's little things. You don't need 6 dish towels. You just don't. You need 3.
And you don't need, 7 pairs of jeans and 25, tops and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I
And you
found
need
that out over the winter.
Sorry?
I found that out. I packed for Florida, and I thought, well, I'm going to need this, I'm going to need this, and lived it down there, realized that when I got home, I started hauling it out. And I said, oh my God, I don't need this stuff. Couldn't believe it.
You just don't. It is something that every RVer arrives at by themselves. It really is. And you kind of look back and say, what was I thinking? You really do. I have probably 10 pairs of shoes in a closet back there. 3 of them are like dress boots. No, I have like 10 pairs of shoes and then 3 pairs of dress boots. Do you know how many times I've worn those dress boots?
Never.
1 time. 1 pair, 1 time. The rest of the shoes have never come out of their boxes. They're still in there. And why did I bring them? Because I paid like $600 per pair for those shoes. And if they do nothing else, they will burn with this RV someday. It's just a matter of really coming to that realization. And
what I had to realize with clothing, because you think, well, I got to have an outfit, because if this event takes place or that event takes place, you want to have all these outfits like you do at home. But you can't. You have to do laundry once a week because you don't have time or have a space to keep all the dirty laundry as well as your clothes. So you're going to wash every week, and you'll find out you wear the same things.
Yeah, you really do. I wear the same, probably 10 things. And I'm including pajamas. It's like 10 things.
Yep.
And then I do laundry every other day. And I just wash those 10 things, as the small load, as a small load, indicates. And then that's it. Hello from Pennsylvania. Hello, Pennsylvania. It's something that I have always found what works for me is the more prepared I am, the less fear and anxiety I have. And I think it's those people that suffer more when they truly don't know what they're going to do if. What am I going to do if my dog gets sick? What am I going to do if I don't have any clean clothes? What am I going to do if my water pump stops working? And as you become more ingrained in RVing, those answers all just come to you. It's simple. To be able to, a water pump is, what is it, $50? Yeah. You just go buy another one. There are RV stores everywhere. What's really great is if you can buy it before you actually need it. And then that way, when your water pump dies, the other one's sitting right next to it, ready to take its place. There's no shopping, there's no anxiety, and you can buy it on sale.
Generally, you get a hint that something's going wrong, and if you think it's something, buy it. And then if it goes, then you got it.
And you can shop it instead of, you know, I need this right now, so I'm going to drive to Home Depot and buy it. Where if you can shop it, you can probably find it on 150,000 other websites for probably $20 less, or different stores for less. So that becomes,
Are you reading that
second
question?
nature. It really becomes second nature. I know there's a question there.
Do you think it would be good to take a minor repair class before hitting the road?
It wouldn't hurt. You know, there are so many ways that you can save yourself money if you just know how to do it yourself. I don't, you know, for me, I've always turned to books. You know, I have a book on this RV. I can open up the pages of this book and read this book and figure out what's going on with the RV. Or at least have a pretty good idea.
Then you can research on YouTube, and there's a video for almost anything.
Yes, there's a video for everything. I can't imagine what there is not a video for on YouTube, as a matter of fact. But even just putting it in search engine and saying, you know, chugging uphill, RV chugging uphill, you're going to come back with a lot. The internet will give you ideas, and then you can start checking them off as being not the solution. You know, did you buy bad gas? That's typically the first one is, you know, but is it going to hurt you to take a class ever? No. Does it matter what the subject is? No. If it is in, you know, automotive repair or how to change your own oil, if you can change your own oil in your RV, you're going to save yourself, depending on how much you travel. Okay. An oil change for this RV was like under $200. Don't know why. It's easy to do, but I was in California, didn't have any place to get rid of the oil, and so didn't really have any place to do it either. And so a lot of times that's what makes your decision for you. But if you can get under there, a Blacktop Boondocker has, I think, 2 videos on how to change the oil in your RV. He has a Class A. And not only that, he put like a little tap on his oil pan. So all he has to do is open the tap and it squirts into a bottle. Hello, ease. And that's going to save you money. You know, just being able to have a good idea of what is wrong with your RV or your Toad is priceless. I took my Toad, which is the 1987 Suzuki Samurai, into a guy and I said, you know, it's running really bad, and I had the exhaust re-welded and blah, 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 but it's running really bad, and I just really am tired of dealing with it with this myself. I can't figure out what carburetor I have in order to rebuild my carburetor. And I said, I really don't think it's a carburetor problem. I really think it's a pressure regulator problem. And that doesn't seem to come with the carburetor kit. Does it come with the carburetor kit? Oh, it doesn't come with the carburetor kit. And he says, well, let me stop you right now. I've heard the Suzuki run, and what you need is an engine rebuild. And I looked at him and said, what?
What did he say you needed?
To rebuild the engine.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. So, you know, basically I went in there with a, I don't know, $300 or $400, what I thought was a $300 or $400 problem at most. And that's including labor and tax. And he's giving me the $2,500 to $3,000 solution. But there were telltale signs for me that this guy was just, yeah, not the guy that was going to touch my Suzuki. So anyway,
he saw a woman coming in the door who wouldn't know anything.
yeah, because all women are stupid and we don't know anything. Oh
Right.
my God. We just know how to make grilled cheese sandwiches and soup. Yeah, it is, you know, and I brought the Suzuki home and got under the hood, and I was a little frustrated with it. This was after I got the exhaust welded again, and new hangers put on. But long story short, I resolved the issue myself, and it runs fine. It doesn't run perfect. I do know what's wrong with it. It's that fuel pressure regulator thing. And as soon as I can find that part, I will replace that. Even though I went on YouTube and there is somebody who is cleaning their fuel pressure regulator. So that may be all it needs, is just that done again.
The other thing, ladies, that you can do is watch the ladies that are full-timing, driving their own rigs, and you'll see Hippie Peterson, Aja from Pandemonium. A lot of them are doing their own stuff. If you follow them at all, you'll see them take on different things and learn about them and fix them.
Yeah. And that's, you know, knowledge is always a good thing. And that's why, if you want to take a class in something, you know, engine 101, or, you know, the circulatory system of your engine, whatever, there are actually, interestingly enough, a lot of RV dealerships that give classes, and you can go to those classes and they're free. Now, you gotta like deal with their pitch, and you can walk in there and say, I'm thinking about buying an RV. Okay, you're not saying I'm thinking about buying an RV from you, but
Right.
they talk about everything having to do with RVing. Now, you people who are interested in van life, okay, I can't help you. But if you're interested in, and actually they would actually help you a bit. Not a lot. I mean, it's basically about, okay, I don't know anything about van life. So, I mean, I know something about it, but it's not something that I've really looked into.
It wouldn't be any different as far as repairs go. It's an engine. It's a
Right.
car engine. And
But there are other things on an RV that can go wrong.
Right.
You know, your plunger on your poop tank may need to be replaced.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm saying a lot of RV dealerships offer classes that you can go and sit in on and learn. And then walk around and look at RVs. And it will also help you to decide what kind of RV you want. Because, you know, I get a lot of that. I get a lot of requests for, hey, what kind of RV do I want? I don't know. What kind of RVing do you want to do?
Right.
And it's not an easy solution for anyone. You know,
Right.
I've had a Class C. I have a Class A. For 20 years, tent camped. You know, I had a 4-wheel drive SUV and threw all my equipment in it and tent camped. Sometimes it was more like glamping, but, you know, basically camping in a tent. I did that for years. Okay,
Yeah.
I had blow up mattresses, or I had cots or something. I didn't actually like throw something on the floor and lay down on it. Excuse me, because I'd never be able to get up. But, you know, it kind of depends on what you want to do.
Right.
And speaking of tent camping, to this day, I've got a tent in my RV. You know, for that scenario of Okay, because I'm kind of hotel phobic. Now I'm going to take the money that AAA is going to write me a check for, and then I'm going to live in my tent. And I'm phobic about bugs and other people's germs and, you know, stuff like that. So I can't use public restrooms, and yeah, I am this weird. Okay. Anybody have any questions? Have I missed anything? Okay.
Don had a good suggestion. You
What's
can
yours?
you can get your particular forum on your particular RV too, and they tell you all kinds of ways to repair things. You just have to ask the questions.
Yeah.
And Deborah said she knows of a RV repair club online. Costs for premium videos, but they have a lot of free ones. I didn't know about that one.
You know, for the beginner, you're going to find that everybody has their hand out. You know, we'll teach you this. You can buy this. It will help you. And I'm guilty of providing that myself. And I mean, now that I think about it, I mean, I have books for women who want to be RVers or are considering being RVers. Okay, they're $2.99, you know, one time only. But it is important to realize, and this was something that I considered, you know, like joining a club, an RVing club or association or whatever. You know, these are all things that fit into what you see for your own personal self as what you want to do. Okay. And I realized that I didn't really want to be around a group and then, you know, be told, okay, we're leaving on Tuesday, we're going to drive for 2 days, and then we're going to be here. I didn't really want to do that. I just wanted to be able to go and do what I wanted to do whenever I wanted to do that. So, and, you know, it's kind of worked out for 2 years. So, you know, I've actually been RVing for 3 years. 1 year I spent in my driveway with a broken arm and a broken shoulder, but I was living in my RV. Okay, enough of that. The other fear that people run into is the money fear. You have to create a budget. You have to know this isn't kind of a willy-nilly way to live. This is planning, knowing what you're going to do, how you're going to spend your money, and how much money you have to spend. Only you know the answer to that. Sitting down with a pen and a piece of paper or Excel or however it is that you do that, and then putting in a budget will really alleviate some anxiety and fear if you have an income currently. You know, if you are on, say, Social Security, or you get residual income from some source, or maybe you work on the road. Okay, you know how hard or smart you have to work in order to stay on budget. The things that you have to consider when you're putting a budget together is A, how much you got, and then how much are you saving, and then what are your expenses? What do you forecast as your expenses? And again, the internet is an ideal place to go look for RV budgets, because they line item everything for you. Fuel, insurance, campground fees, everything. It's all right there. And it creates for you a real direction for the type of RVer that you're going to be. Okay. There are people that will tell you you can live for free. Okay, well, no, you can't. I don't care what they say. I really don't. You can park for free.
Yeah.
But that's about it. And a lot of city ordinances forbid that. You know, you can't go park in a city in America with your RV and not have somebody complain about that.
You can stay on free land, but you a lot of times have to move after so many days.
Yeah, it's typically 14 days. Some are 7. Some are, yeah, they tell you you have this amount of time, but nobody ever checks, so who really cares? And yeah, you can live there. I mean, you can, again, park your RV for free, but you still need water, food, fuel. You still have to pay insurance. What else is there that you have to? Expenses that you just...
You can do this inexpensively after you get your investment in your rig, and then you go someplace that you can camp for free. Out west is a great spot. You find those that you can camp for free. But the ones that I've seen interviewed that have very little income don't travel a lot. They'll stay 2 weeks and then they'll move
10 feet,
35 or 40 miles into another free spot, and they just don't spend it on gas. What they've got, they spend on food and necessities.
Yeah. I mean, and is that what you really want to do? I mean, isn't the idea of RVing going out and exploring, going and finding what it is that interests you?
I think they do, but they do it very slowly so that, I mean, they have to move, so they only move so much.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they can stay, like this month, they're staying here.
Yeah. And I have seen,
close.
Yeah, and I have seen videos where people are living in their cars and, you know, yeah, they can keep themselves hygienically,
yeah,
whatever, but at a cost, you know, so you've got to figure out for yourself what the cost is that you're willing to pay.
And what you can stand.
Yeah, and what you can stand. I mean, you have to go to the bathroom. It's a given. How do you dispose of that when you're in your car? You know, it's just things that you've got to really think about. Yeah.
And that's all on YouTube also. I mean, it's all out there.
Yeah, it really is. The other thing that people fear, and I have to say that I had this fear as well, and I still do, is the unfamiliar, especially driving on highways and roads and whatnot. Now, for me, I am by myself when I am traveling. Okay, and all the rest of the time too. You know, being able to be comfortable going to some place where you've never been before and trying to figure out how to find, oh, I don't know, Walmart. Now, a lot of times I will, of course, use Navigator. You know, hello Google, where's Walmart? Now, in my in that I'm in North Carolina, the first time I came to this farm, the day before I had actually arrived, and then no. I arrived a day, then I came and checked it out, knew that I wasn't ready to bring the RV in here, and then decided I was going to go spend the night at a Walmart. So I said, you know, Google, Walmart near me. It took me 32 miles away, and actually the closest Walmart was about 14 miles away. Now, it doesn't always work out to use Navigator. You know, you're going to have a percentage of places that you want to go to that there's just no Google navigation or whatever. getting and sometimes the GPS doesn't know either, or it's dumping you someplace, or somebody has transposed numbers in the directions, or you did when you wrote the directions down, and all of a sudden you find yourself heading to Iowa and you're in Arizona. So it's, and you're looking for something in Arizona. Being away from what you know can also lead to frustration. So, again, give yourself a break, do the best you can, and just breathe, and it'll be fine. Oh gosh, it led me to something else, and now I've forgotten what it is. There is actually a lot of excitement and wonder and marvelousness about this kind of life. I have enjoyed myself so much in the last 2 years, once I was able to get out of my driveway. And, the people you meet, your opportunity to experience things that most people don't get to. They don't stop at the, historical monument 900 feet ahead. They don't stop. Why? Because they're just too busy to stop. When you're a full-time RVer, hey, you can take 5 minutes. You could stop and find out why that historical marker is there. And it's fun. The last thing that I want to talk about in fear, and we've only got 3 minutes left, is people. The fear of people. I think everybody, with the exception of, very, very few, have that built-in instinct when you know somebody is not right. When you know that you could potentially end up in trouble in some manner because of a two-legged creature. And you just, again, have to be prepared. It's really simple things. You don't open your RV door to somebody you don't know. And especially if it happens to be nighttime. That's why we have windows that have screens. You open it up and you say, what do you want? Some women will carry firearms. I personally think it's a great idea. But, again, that can open up a can of worms that could just be no fun. And it's something to think about. What am I going to do? Well, deterring is the best way to go. You deter someone. When I am camping anywhere, except, okay, here where I am right now, I put a size 13 men's shoe outside my door. Like, take off your shoes before you come in. And I have a pile of shoes that I leave by the door. And I put out 2 or more lawn chairs under my awning. I don't want people to think that I'm all by myself. When you get that feeling on the back of your neck and somebody says to you, oh, are you all alone? No, I'm not. Hubby is sleeping in the back. It is something that is, you just know. It's instinctive. It's that fight or flight thing. When it's happening. And you need to be prepared for everything. Technically, if you carry a gun and somebody's like attempting to get into your RV and you shoot them, yeah, that would be murder. If you're going to shoot them, drag them into your RV and make sure they bleed all over the place. But there are things that you can do that to somebody who is watching you, especially for people who are boondocking, you know, if you're in a very remote area and you can feel when somebody's watching you. You know, they've got a pair of binoculars and they're just watching. Get in your RV and drive away because your house is on wheels. Don't take the chance. You know, it is, there are things that you can buy, cameras and whatnot, that you can put outside your RV. And, you know, from your cell phone, you can say, okay, there's people out there. They look like they're up to no good. You go to the, you know, forget your awning, forget the stuff that's outside. Put the key in the ignition and drive away. Drive over them if you can, so that nobody else ever has to deal with them again. The, you know, the other thing is, I have wasp and bear spray. When I am out hiking or whatever, and I have, you know, what's the other, the pepper spray, I have that too. That's really what I use when I'm out hiking, is because it's small. But I recognize the fact that I'm not going to be able to run very far or very fast. Okay. So the other thing that I carry when I'm out hiking is a big knife. And because I'm not going to be able to run very far and I'm not going to run fast. I already know this. So I have to have something to defend myself. So I've got my pepper spray and I have a knife that is probably illegal in many states. But you know what? Don't care. I need something that is going to give me somewhat of an advantage. And sometimes there is no advantage. When your time's up, your time's up. But it's the two-legged creatures that give me my biggest fear. But I also have to add this. In my 2 years of doing this, I have never run into anyone that I have felt anxiety about, or, you know, felt like they were going to hurt me in some way. I've never run into that, except at the retail level. But, you know, I think that knives are not a good idea. I can just kind of see that, only because it's in really big print. You know, whatever it is that helps you to feel secure and safe, especially if you are a woman traveling alone, you know, it's important that you have whatever that is. And it doesn't matter what it is. It is, you know, and the other thing that I tell people, you know, if they were to come near me or whatever, you know, I have a gun and I don't have a problem shooting you right through this door. I mean, they would leave. I would leave. Because, you know, it's like you have to have that kind of threatening tone and be able to defend yourself. You know, there are classes that you can take, but again, I'm 61 years old. Yeah, I can probably, I mean, I've taken those classes on self-defense, and I can honestly say, if the first thing doesn't work, the second thing is probably going to kill me. And I think that it's important that that you're aware of that. So we are at 8:05 here in the East, and this only lasts for an hour, so we're 5 minutes over. We used to do this for 90 minutes, and we shortened it to an hour now. So for all of you who are first timers, or you probably don't even care about that, but for those of you who have been here before when we were in RV Women Hangout 1.0, yeah, we don't do it for 90 minutes anymore. Did you want to add something, Nanis Joy?
No, I'm sitting here reading all these sidebars.
Oh, okay. You kind of looked like you wanted to say something, so, you know, believe it or not, I can stop talking. Again, if any woman would like to be in on the video portion of this conversation, I invite you to do that. It is just for women. Sorry, guys. We do like you, but that hasn't worked out in the past so much. So we don't have guys on video. As far as the time, we're doing this on Thursdays. We used to do it on Sundays. Now we do it at Thursdays, 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific. And again, we just do this for an hour. So bring your ideas, bring your concepts, bring ideas that you want to talk about, or that, you know, you think that the group would enjoy talking about. And if you want to present it yourself, that'd be awesome. And then I can just sit back and, you know, play on the chat thing. I can read everything. I can't read and talk. And you can tell when I'm reading, because then I stop talking and I look down. Let's see what else. And no, I just saw men sucks in really big, you know, capital letters, and that's not what it is. We have had, for those of you who are unaware, men, boys, who disguise themselves or whatever, and all they really want to do is show us their private parts. And we've seen private parts. We know people with private parts. We don't want to see their private parts. So everybody's talking about the knife thing.
Dreamin' wants to ask you a question real quick.
Okay, real quick. What is it?
Haven't seen it come up yet.
Oh, okay. I thought you already knew what it was. Okay. If you feel that there is more to be said about the topic of fear, we can certainly address that subject again, whenever. And
what is the pencil drawing behind you?
Oh, well, what do you think it is? Art is all about the perception of the viewer.
You can only see about 2 inches of it.
Oh, okay. Oh, let me move then. Okay, now you can see it all. What do you think it is?
For the longest time, I thought it was a feather. Now I think it's an eye. Either I love it.
It's an eye. It's my eye. I did it like this. I don't know why. I just did. I do very weird art things every once in a while. I'll just, you know. Okay, anybody else want to know anything else from last time?
Somebody want to know whether you've heard from RV or RV.
I have not. You know, his goodbye was on his channel. I haven't checked out his channel's still up. I haven't checked out anything recently. The last time I went over, you know, it was the same old. So nope, haven't heard anything. Don't know anything. Every once in a while I get questions about, you know, people who were on YouTube like 2 years ago and they're not on YouTube anymore. Jimmy Rants. I really miss Jimmy Rants, actually. But he's another one that just, enough was enough. And, the trolls were really bad 2 years ago. Now the trolls have kind of mellowed out a little or just disappeared and are attacking somebody else. But it gets tough to deal with the comment section oftentimes when people are just either incredibly thoughtless or stupid and cruel. Not really sure how to go there without really sounding, sarcastic and mean. And God knows I can be sarcastic and mean. I really like Jimmy Rants. He had a very goofiness that I found appealing.
Oh, he's
And
back under a new name.
really, what is this ad block plus user? What does that mean?
It says he trolls Rusty 786 609. I don't know why. He's an old man.
Jimmy Rants is telling you he trolls. And that's his handle, Rusty 78609?
No, Rusty is an old man. Jimmy trolls that guy.
Oh, so Jimmy is viewing, but okay. I can see how Jimmy would have turned into a troll. God knows if they just attacked him viciously. I don't know. The one thing to remember when you're watching YouTube videos or watching people on YouTube is that some people create a persona, and though you think you know us, you don't actually know us. It's kind of a difficult thing for a lot of people to grasp, and I see untrustworthy something. And
where'd you get Rusty as a child molester? He's an old frickin' man.
Well, old men can be child molesters. Rusty is a child molester, if I'm not mistaken. See, I don't understand why you're putting that information on this chat, which tells me it's a really good time to close. Anyway, yeah, it's kind of smearing for. Yeah, I'm just going to end this because I'm going to go into a diatribe that's going to last about 45 minutes, and my eyes will get really big, and my face is going to kind of get red, and and people are going to leave my channel as quickly as they can. Anyway, I thank everybody for coming, and I look forward to seeing y'all next time, and that's the end of this little chat. Smile and be brave.
See y'all.